Hey guys, how's it going? Kevin Cleary here with a first impressions video for you. We have a knife that I'm pretty excited to share. This is of course a Demko. We've had a number of Demko knives on the channel, a couple of AD20.5s, different blade shapes. We've had the free rein. We've had the cold steels, the AD10 and the AD15, which are two of my all-time favorite cold steels, highly recommended. We've also had a different version of this knife. So this is the AD20S. We've had the AD20 in the full size with the titanium scales. The S is going to be a little thinner. The blade steel here is 204P and the handle is carbon fiber. Want to give a quick shout out to Canadian Breakfast Club. If you're in Canada and you are a knife guy, you might want to check it out. Not going to be for everybody to participate in, but if you like that sort of thing, you, I think, will be happy with the Canadian Breakfast Club. They seem to do, the admins seem to be good, and overall seems to be a pretty good experience. All right. Let's talk about, and by the way, specifically Greg Tate, good job, buddy, and Patrick Laval is who had this knife before. So yeah, this is secondary market knife. All right. Back to the knife itself. As you can see, this is the drop point version of this. There are a lot of different blade shapes and variants of the AD20. This one is drop point, stonewash finish, 204P blade. You can see it has the thumb stud and the opening hole. Not all of them will. Carbon fiber on the handle. Over here, we've got the famous or infamous Demko clip. That may be changing. I noticed Casey Lynch has clips that will fit this, and so we may switch that up a little bit. The other thing I want to say is the feel in hand on this is really, really good. This is one of those knives where it's tempting, and really you can't help yourself from comparing it to its other variants. So having had and handled an AD20 and having had and handled a couple of the AD20, by the way, was sent for review by a viewer. The 20.5s, I've owned a couple of AD20.5s, and they're okay. They're just not my favorite, but you know, this is really right in my wheelhouse. Along with the 20.5, I'd be equally happy. This happens to be the S, which means the blade stock is a little thinner. Okay, so it's just a hair over 1/8 of an inch, where it's going to be like a full 3/16 or a little more than that on the regular version of the AD20. Let me give you a rundown on the size of this. It is 8 11/16, a little over 8 5/8 total length. Blade length is 3 5/8, actually a hair over 3 5/8. It's 5 inches closed. All right, so that's what you're going to be carrying in pocket. The grip area is 3 5/8. I feel like I'm saying 5/8 a lot in this video, plus that option to sort of choke up, and there's a bit of jimping there on the spine. And then finally, the weight on this is going to be 5.2 ounces. All right, so that's just a quick rundown of the specs. What have I got to say about this knife in terms of a first impression? Well, you know, this is one of those knives. First of all, I'm a big fan of Andrew Demko, so it's got that going for it. It's a really, really well-balanced knife, at least as far as I'm concerned. It's hand-filling. It's comfortable. All right, that makes a big difference to me. I feel like I've got lots of knife here. It's very substantial, very satisfying. The other thing I've got to say, and this is pretty common knowledge about these, but this is such a fidget-friendly knife. I know the smaller version is fidget-friendly as well, but I actually find the ergonomics of this just a little bit better. And of course, the big thing that stands out recently, you know, the most recent version of this I've had is the 20.5 clip point, I guess. And there I complained in that video that the shark lock lands a little bit sort of in my grip area. Here it's perfect. It totally misses. If I want to sort of choke down on the knife, it works really well as a thumb ramp. If I want to choke up on the knife, my thumb totally misses it. So I just find, I don't know if it's just purely the extra size or where it lands based on my hand size, but I find the ergonomics on this quite enjoyable. I will say this, guys. I mean, most of you are probably familiar with Andrew Demko. You're familiar with the AD20 series. You know they're not cheap, but I'll just throw it out there that yeah, if you're looking at it, if you've had an AD 20.5 and you wish there was a bigger version, this is a bigger version, but it's also a mid-tech. So it's not just a regular production knife cranked out of, the Taiwan manufacturing the way the AD 20.5s are. And so you're going to be paying, Hinderer or CRK type of prices for this, $450 to $500 US, and considerably more than that up here in Canada. So what are my initial thoughts on this knife? Yeah, of course I love it, guys. I like the design. I love the drop point. I had not had a drop point before. I know there are a few blade shapes available, but the drop point I think just really, really suits this. I don't know. You guys can disagree if you want down in the comments. I've already mentioned the clip and how it might be changing. We'll see how that goes. But overall, very, very satisfying knife. And one of the cool things I find about this is because of the size, it's super easy to fidget with. So it's really, really hard to leave this alone. When you've got it, even in the same room as you, even worse yet, in your pocket, it's really, really tempting to have this out and be fiddling with it all the time. All right. Thanks a lot for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We will talk to you soon.